The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more.
Send it.
Here's my sample.
All right, folks, welcome to Pot Talk. I'm James.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Ron Jeremy.
Yes! The big dick. What up?
The big dick is here.
Yeah, finally showed up about 2 seconds before the show starts.
I want to give a shout out for remembrance of Charles Krauthammer. He's sudden death within 6 weeks. I don't know what the deal is, but he's a dead man.
Well, because quadriplegics, if they get like a chest infection or something like that, because they're on respirators and shit, you know what I mean? Like they have a portable breathing thing, and they just go south. They have their immune system's shit. And he was born in 1950, by the way.
Yeah, he's only 5 years older than me.
What a fucking intellect that man had. I mean, he could converse with anyone. Republican, Democrat, ultra-liberal. He would engage them calmly and respectfully. Something I do not have the ability to do.
No, neither do I. I'm fucking screaming at people.
I lose my fucking shit with liberals. Do you know why? Because
it's frustrating.
Yeah, because they never answer the question. They answer your question with a fucking question.
Yeah, no.
Well, and what would you do in this situation? Didn't ask you that. I asked you to answer this fucking question 3 times.
Shit.
Yeah, it really is frustrating. Well, yeah. Do you know who's the master of that? Richard Nixon. He would talk for 15 minutes and never answer the question.
Those are politicians. The good one would never answer the question.
But Krauthammer would always answer a question.
Yeah, he did.
He wrote for was it the Washington Post?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe it was. He was he was the journalist, the intellect journalist of this generation.
He had a lot of respect from other journalists.
Yes, and it didn't matter what side of the aisle they were on.
Right.
I'll give the Democrats that. Charles was respected on both sides of the aisle.
Because he was kind of...
He didn't fucking alienate people when he spoke, or tried to anyway.
Yeah, he engaged them.
That's the problem. There's no compromise.
Well, there is no compromise these days. We're fucking polarized beyond belief. And trust me included. I've become a part of that. I don't even want to hear the other side. I used to want to hear the other side.
I want to hear the other side just to see if they had a better idea.
Exactly.
They've never had a better idea since the 30s or 20s. I don't even know.
And it's not even that so much. It's that
Donald
if you say...
his love.
Donald, that handsome motherfucker.
What's he do?
He said, "Tell Jim and Paul I send my love."
Oh. You know what? I want to meet Donald just so I can give him a big hug. He's
That's a lot of hugging.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what word sums up Donald perfectly? Galoot. Nobody uses that term no more. He's a big galoot.
Oh, poor Donald. He's listening to us talk.
He's a big, lovable galoot. He really is. He does not have a fucking bone of hate in his body.
No, he's a good man. This cannot be Donald on his messenger. He says big teddy bear. That just somebody's on his Facebook.
Yeah, like a teddy bear that somebody ripped the fucking hair off the top of it.
No, they rip out the teeth so they can't bite you.
A bald teddy bear.
Yeah.
Poor Donald.
You know the teddy bear was named after Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah,
Bald would be like the Eisenhower version of a teddy bear. Because Eisenhower was bald. No yucks, nothing.
He wasn't bald. He had a crew cut.
No, fucking Eisenhower was bald as a fucking cue ball.
He had to receive the airline.
Anyone wants to Google his image, go ahead, Google the image. He was bald. Jeremy's new sound effect. Make sure you have that tucked away for Donald tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how's life out in Ohio right now?
Rainy. Non-stop rain.
That's what I heard.
And we got House Bill 228 going through our government right now, and John Kasich, our fucking asshole piece of shit, liberal dick-sucking governor, is threatening to veto it because basically what it is a stand your ground law. If it passes, we are no longer required to retreat before defending ourselves. In Ohio, as it stands now, if somebody attacks you and you defend yourself without first trying to run away, you'll go to prison.
That's retarded.
Isn't that just stupid?
That is the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
so the aggressor automatically has the advantage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The criminal.
Yeah.
Right
now, the only good thing about Ohio's gun laws is the fact that you can open carry legally.
Yeah, was that recently, or that's been there for a while?
It's been that way for a long time.
Oh, okay.
See, New Hampshire, you can do both, concealed and open, without a permit.
And what really sucks is, we got Mike DeWine in the fucking running for governor here in Ohio. If he makes it in, it'll be more of the same shit John Kasich is doing.
Yeah, he's a fucking Kasich clone.
Yeah, that's exactly
now,
what
you guys call him Kasich. I've always heard Kasich.
Yeah, Kasich.
It is. It's pronounced Kasich. I say Kasich or Kasich. Jock itch.
He really is a douche. And he's so
certainly is.
irrelevant. His kind are becoming more and more irrelevant every day, too.
Well, he stayed in the damn presidential election just hoping to get enough votes to prevent Trump from getting in.
Yep.
That was the only reason he even stayed.
He is a whiny little prick.
I'm not sure what Donald means by constitutional carry exactly, because Ohio's an open carry state. And
No. He's talking about up here in New Hampshire. We're a constitutional carry state.
Yeah. Okay. I thought he was talking about Ohio. I was like, wait, we're open carry here. Matter of fact, our state constitution states that we can transport a firearm, its components, and or its ammunition, basically any way we choose. Yet the law tells us that if we have a loaded magazine, we're going to fucking get arrested for it.
So how do they juxtapose them two? Don't they contradict each other?
I don't know.
I love that. They say, look, we gave you this. No, because there's another law that says that.
Right. It don't make any sense. I imagine it's a state law that says you can't carry a fucking loaded magazine. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't get away with it, because in Ohio, as far as I know, the local or county laws do not trump state law.
Right, okay, yeah, like a town ordinance won't trump a state law. Yeah. And that's how it should be everywhere.
I think our state constitution even says that you cannot create any law that supersedes state laws. Alters or supersedes them.
New Hampshire recently got rid of DUI checkpoints.
Well, to me, that's entrapment.
The state
and illegal search and seizure. Because if you have no choice but to go through one of those checkpoints, and they will stop you and search you whether they have a fucking warrant or not, and you're not required to even comply to that. And if you don't comply, they arrest you on the spot for DUI.
Well, I guess
then take your fucking license till you go to court.
well, I guess a group of some organization up here said there's a clause in the state constitution that the checkpoints violate, and they brought it to court, and the court sided with them, and they said, yeah. And surprisingly, the cops were on their side. They said, do you know what? These checkpoints don't work. We get maybe a 1%.
The word goes out.
it.
Nobody goes
And
in.
nobody goes through.
Yeah.
They said we could be far more useful out on the road watching people swerve.
Right.
The reason the word
Observing
goes out
people.
is because it's like saying, hey, we told you we was going to be here and you still drove through here, so we have the right to search you. That's why
Yeah.
they do that.
Yeah.
Ohio's
And they-
the same fucking way.
Yeah, Massachusetts, they're fucking brutal. I forget what state it is, right? If they ask you to submit to a breathalyzer and you refuse, you can look this up when you get a chance, Jeremy. They have nurses there, and they will forcibly take a blood sample from you
They
without
can't.
without a judge's order.
Remember the nurse there that got away with it because they're trying to tell her the
No,
same
I
reason,
know.
take
No,
blood.
No, I know,
And
but
she says, no, I can't.
well, I've seen the
Oh,
video.
nurse
Yeah,
at
and
the hospital? She got
Yes.
arrested.
Yeah.
Because she refused to
Well, she was
take a guy's
vindicated.
blood.
yeah, that
Right.
cop got fucked
Well,
big time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the patient was unconscious and couldn't give consent.
But there is a state, I'm telling you, where they do that to you. They strap you, they forcibly strap you to a
They
gurney.
can't, because you got the right not to incriminate yourself, and they
I
can't
understand
force
that.
you to do it.
And it's they're fighting it right now. The states, the people are fighting it. I forget what state it is, but they are doing it. They're not supposed to. You can't take blood without a court or a
see, the
judge's
reason
court
a lot
order.
of these
You
places are
can't
getting
even
away
take it
with
from that. You
shit.
need to fucking consent.
No, a judge can order
No.
a blood. Of course they can.
No, because like I said, I got the right to plead the fifth.
A judge can order a blood sample,
And you got to say I'm taking the fifth on that.
and they'll
Yeah.
take the blood anyways, and it
No.
will hold up in
And it
court.
shouldn't.
It shouldn't. I
And
agree
it
with you.
won't.
I
It
agree
goes
with
to
you.
Supreme Court. It
The
should.
reason
But they
these
do
people
it.
get away with this shit is because people let them. There's
Yeah,
too
'cause-
many people out there who are on the law-abiding citizen. They just fucking give in and let it happen.
Yep, they say it's not my concern. I'm never going to be in that situation.
Right.
And that's wrong, because they should be the first people to say, no, I don't like this. Well, you're never going to be in that situation. I don't care. So what are you going to take from me next? Even though I'm never going to be in that situation. Eventually it knocks on your fucking door, and they come for you for your silence.
Right.
Like
You
that
know-
old fucking saying, they came for this, and then they came for me.
VB, yeah.
Well, it's
First
like,
they came for the Jews.
Yeah,
it's like the damn gun debate. Oh, they're never going to take our guns. They're never going to come for our guns. Well, I'll guarantee you, if Hillary Clinton had been in office, that's exactly what would be
absolutely.
going on right now.
right
Well,
now.
anybody that
Absolutely.
had any kind of a psychotropic drug or whatever that has psychiatric help, pills, all right, every one of them, you ain't allowed a gun anymore.
Well, that's how they'd start it. They'd stop
Well,
whittling.
right.
But eventually
then
it'll
when
be
they get away
everywhere.
with that, it's going to
Retired
be
military
Parkinson's
wouldn't be allowed to have
disease you
guns
should
either.
have when you're going to kill
Yeah.
somebody. And they're just going to keep escalating until they get no more guns. The only ones that are going to have them are cops.
And criminals.
Well, there's a movie.
Yes, there'll always be criminals.
There's a movie where only the criminals had guns. That was Schindler's List.
Yes. Yes. There is a prime example, and people go, that can't happen today. You
Well,
do
fuck it
realize it
can't.
only happened 70 years ago.
Yeah, no.
There were
Going on
people
right now in
alive.
it's going on right now in countries like South Africa.
Right, but I'm talking in the developed world.
South Africa was developed.
Africa's always been a shit show.
No, but not South Africa. The Dutch did a good job down there.
No, the British.
The Dutch.
South Africa was owned by Britain.
Mm.
Why don't they speak German?
The
They
Dutch.
speak English.
No, they speak German.
No, they don't. No, it was.
Look it up.
I will look it up.
It
Jeremy,
was
look
on
that up.
the
It was never a Dutch
Mel
possession.
Gibson and Danny Glover movie.
What movie?
South Africa.
Huh?
Danny Glover movie.
Not Danny Glover, the other black guy.
The other black guy.
The other
Where the
black guy?
toilet blew up and come out the window.
That's Danny Glover.
With Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
What's the
What
movie?
the fuck? Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
What the fuck does that have to do with
One of
something?
them had to do with the South African Cougarans. It was Dutch.
Oh, that was.
And they were from South Africa.
That's Lethal Weapon.
Yes, I don't know which one. Is that the first one? I don't think so. I think it was the second or the third.
Too.
South Africa was ruled by the British. Was part of the
Was
British
it Dutch?
Empire.
Yeah. Where
Then why do they have English accents?
I don't know.
Where Danny Glover goes into the South African consulate and says he wants to go to South Africa, and that guy looks at him and says, but you're black.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're black. Oh, yeah, Joe Pesci was in that one, too. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
fucking
black.
Pesci. He disappeared, huh?
Yeah. He must have a falling out with De Niro and Scorsese.
Yeah, do you know what I think it was? I think he just grabbed his fucking money. He's living off the fucking residuals and fucking having a blast. That's what Christopher Lloyd did. Rick Moranis did the same thing. Said, fuck Hollywood, I'm out. I got enough money to live comfortably for the rest of my life.
Okay, I'm looking at Ohio's implied consent law.
Implied consent?
Basically, it says if you are lawfully arrested by an officer who has probable cause to believe you have been operating under the influence, then you automatically consent to taking a chemical test of your blood, breath, or urine.
Boom. See? You can't say no.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, that's not going to hold up in the Supreme Court. They just can't come in and grab your blood.
They've been doing it.
No, they
Refusal
do.
to
Listen.
take the test is a 1-year license suspension, automatic. Second offense, 2 years. Third offense, 3 years. You lose your license for 1 year for refusing to take that test.
Well, yeah, I
If
know that.
you're arrested. The consent law says if you are arrested. However.
Right, and they're going to arrest you if you say no. They're going to say, well, his speech was slurred, he was glossy-eyed, he had the scent of alcohol.
He was crossing the yellow line.
Right. And they allow it, Jimmy. They've been doing it for
It's
decades.
tester lying. I know.
You know, yeah, exactly, test the line. And it's the same speech every time, word for word.
Right. Even the judge
Right.
gets sick of it. He knows it's bullshit.
Yeah, but they just, well, it's money.
Well,
so
they're
they
not
don't
going to
give
say
a fuck.
anything against the cop.
No, because it's money.
What
Well,
we
they're the
need to
ones to
know
protect
is
his house.
if you can refuse to take a test before arrest.
Well, they'll ask you to take the test. If you refuse it, then they arrest you. And then they force you to take the test. I mean, how many drunk drivings do you got, Jimmy?
2.
Yeah. What did they say? Will you take a failed sobriety test or a breathalyzer? If you refuse, they say, well, you're under arrest.
I did it. I was legless. I opened the door and fell out of the car.
Well, I mean, come on that one.
Yeah, well, the guy's name's Phil, and I kept calling him Bill, the cop. I knew him. I knew him well. And I kept calling him Bill when his name was Phil.
That must be one
Don't
of the
listen
great-
to him, Bill, because the kid got out of his car saying he tried to kill me on the highway. He was smashing into me. And don't listen to him, Bill. He's lying. Then when I get up, the kid next to me was passed out in the car. They woke him up and said, here, you drive home. And we're taking him. They arrested me to go do a breathalyzer. I passed both of them.
Really?
Yeah, I hyperventilated all the way there. The whole cruiser smelled like whiskey.
And yet you passed the
And I
test.
passed the thing twice.
Fucking long ago was this?
77?
Oh, well, yeah, that thing, what was it? The fucking, like something from the Flintstones? You breathed into a bird's beak?
Still took the alcohol out of it.
Well,
And
now
what
they
I did
got-
is I hyperventilated.
Now
I
they
get
got
all the
these
air out of
things
my
that
lower
can,
lungs, and then I...
They got these things, I don't know if they have them in New Hampshire where you guys are at, but they have these devices that they can plug into your car's computer where you have to breathe under a certain alcohol level or the car won't start.
Yeah, no, if it reads anything, the car won't start. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking, the guy I used to get my weed from, well, I can say his first name, Ben. He had that on his truck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he used mouthwash one morning and it fucking stalled out. It wouldn't start. they called his house because it was linked up, so they knew it didn't start. He's like, you can send my PO right now. He goes, I used mouthwash earlier this. They're like, we told you about that. He's like, look, I woke up, I had stank breath, I brushed my teeth, I used some mouthwash.
Donald's wanting to know how they test for marijuana and drug tests and OEI and all that stuff.
Because it's in your urine.
Yeah, which is there for 30 days. So it doesn't mean you're stoned for 30 days. That's the problem.
I wish it were. That'd be fucking awesome.
Right.
They're going to say, well, his eyes were glassy and red. My eyes are glassy and red when I wake up.
Mine are glassy and red all day long.
I'm allergic to dust and it makes my eyes red.
Look, mine are because fucking I'm getting older and you get eye strain and it makes your eyes red. You know? Fucking, they can say whatever they want to screw you.
And the judge goes along with it.
Of course they do, because it's money, Jim. It's money in their fucking office.
It's a racket.
Exactly. It's a racket.
They're not punishing criminals. They're fucking extorting victims.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's a fine line
And they
between...
target lower income people, too.
Well, because they don't have the money to hire a lawyer to fight it.
That's why they're the ones that got to pay.
Exactly.
It's fucking ridiculous.
None of the judges will listen to you unless you got a lawyer. And the reason why they're scared of the lawyer, because they can, if the judge says something stupid or does something stupid, he can appeal it and overturn him.
Yeah,
it makes the judge look like an asshole.
Yeah.
And they hate that.
Oh, because they're fucking overinflated egos can't handle it.
Right, because they were lawyers at one time too.
Look at the Making a Murderer show that was on Netflix. They made the judge, the cops, and just about everybody involved look like a bunch of fucking fools, and those guys still got sent to prison.
Yeah. Yeah. The fucking,
you know
just
why?
the corruption in that fucking
because the county and the state was owed like $30-some million to this guy because he was wrongfully convicted of rape.
Mm-hmm.
And spent like 18 years in prison for it.
Yep. And they proved he wasn't, and fucking just before the payment, fucking all of a sudden there's a fucking corpse in his yard.
Yep.
Jeez. Oh, we couldn't fake that. And
these guys are above the law, remember that.
Yeah.
Anything they do, they could get away with, but if you do what they do...
Are you talking about making them a murderer?
Yeah.
Well, cops in general now, I mean, law enforcement in general, they could, if they run like a red light or something, there no lights on whatever, they could T-bone somebody. What?
Oh, what the hell happened, Jeremy? I think we just lost Jeremy.
No, he's there.
Yeah, well, he's not talking.
I'm here. I muted the microphone so you guys wouldn't hear me hollering.
We had that happen in North Reading, down in Mass. A cop ran a red light, screaming through the light, T-boned a car full of kids, young kids. Mm-hmm. One actually got ejected from the car. And he said he was going to a call, but he had no lights on and shit. And the lawyer was trying to subpoena the radio transmissions to see if he was on a call. Well, he eventually got him, and he wasn't on a call, and they still found in favor of the cop, not at fault.
Oh, really?
Yeah, similar.
They didn't even know.
Up here in Dayton.
They didn't even know the third kid that got... Wait, just one sec, Jeremy. The third kid that got ejected from the car landed in a bunch of bushes at a dentist's office. They didn't even know he was there until the girl, they were taking him away, and she's like, where's my friend so-and-so? And they're like, oh, he's right here. She's like, no, there was a third person. That's when they started looking around and found him in a fucking hedge.
Yeah. A similar incident happened up here in Dayton a few years ago. This cop was approaching a red light, and instead of stopping, there was actually a vehicle in front of him, stopped at the light, right? Instead of stopping behind that vehicle like most normal people would do, he went around this vehicle to the left and proceeded through the intersection, T-boned a lady that was going through the cross traffic, and she ended up paralyzed. And they still found in favor of the cop, and even
They always do. I don't know any cops that were ever made to be held responsible.
They even cited this woman, and this was despite dozens of witnesses saying there were no sirens or lights when he went around this lady, and apparently no radio traffic at the time either.
It's unbelievable, the sheer corruption. Here's another one from the pages of my hometown, North Reading. This one I'm going to have to do with no names and shit, because
Right.
These two cops, they were on their motorcycles, active police officers, not on duty. They were hitting the beach up here drinking. They stopped at this strip joint called Tens. Had a few more. On the way home, they both went to go around this old lady, right? And another car was coming the other way. Oh, no, they went to go around another car, and this old lady coming the other way nailed them. They were on the wrong side of the road. This isn't like where you have, the no passing at all. Solid double yellow line. So, one got killed, and the other got really fucked up, broke his pelvis and shit, right? He survived. They went after that old lady, fucking tooth, nail, and claw. When they couldn't get her, they went to the strip joint, Tens. And now, just by coincidence, a friend of mine from the same town was the bartender there, this girl I went to school with. She had served them. They went after her. Eventually, it went nowhere. They couldn't blame anyone else. But they pursued that old woman for like a year and a half, just trying to destroy her life. But at least she won. She came out clean.
Yeah, but how
many
dollars later?
Right, how much money did she have to spend to clear her fucking name? And the town was not going to pay that bill. They would never be ordered to.
Right. They don't care, that's the thing.
Well, that's why they're saying you take people to court now, you should be paying if you lose.
That's how they do it in England. Fault litigation. If you bring up a case and you lose, you pay the other person's lawyer fees. That's how it should be.
Right.
It would cut out all these fucking senseless lawsuits. It would end tomorrow.
You know how many millions and billions of dollars are set aside for lawsuits? Whether it be corporate, criminal?
Yeah, well, but the thing is, litigation would drop dramatically if it was a fault litigation.
Right.
If they thought when they lose, they got to pay the other person's lawyer fees, but the lawyers fight it because they make money, and of course, all politicians are fucking lawyers, so they side with their scumbag buddies,
Right.
and nothing can get done. And then they go, well, the court systems are plugged up, and we work so hard. The court systems wouldn't be plugged up if you fucking take the cork out of your ass.
Right. Oh God, that's an area of contention, I swear, because no matter what you do, the justice system is stacked against those that have to defend themselves.
Yeah, of course.
And
Here's
it's
a
always
prime
going to be there like that.
Here's a prime example. All right, when you say you're fighting a murder case, and now the prosecution can offer immunity to people to testify against you, but the defense can't offer immunity for people to testify for you.
Right.
It's already a stacked deck, right there. Everything the prosecution should be able to do, the defense should be able to do.
That's what makes it fair and balanced.
A level playing field. And it's not. It's stacked against you from the second you walk through them doors.
And it's all got all to do about money.
My brother John said it best. He got called into jury duty, right? And there was a thing for comments, and I forget exactly how he worded it, but it was like a long thing about how the justice system's a fucking joke. and it said, justice might be blind, but it sure as shit can smell $1 a mile away.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. It's all about the dollars and cents. Well, dollars, because in the justice system there is no cents. It's all about dollars and no cents.
Yeah, they don't care. It's a money
no
gimmick.
common
That's how they
sense.
pay for everything.
Yeah.
Then the fucked up part is they want to tell the cops they can't do this, they can't do that. This is how you arrest somebody. Oh my God, you can't shoot somebody who's shooting at you unless they hit you with a bullet.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something stupid like that.
They gotta fire first at you. Fuck you.
Well, that was the rules of engagement for our troops under Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody pulls a gun on me, I don't care if I'm risking my freedom.
You can't
or not.
shoot
I'm
unless you're being
fucking
shot
blowing
at.
their brains out.
That's the way it should be over here for our police. It's
I don't-
good enough for troops. It's good enough for the police.
As soon as you, if a cop tells you stop and you pull a gun, I don't care what direction it's pointed in, shoot.
Yeah,
But you gotta
if
know it's a gun. It's not this bullshit stuff when you say
phone.
stop. Yeah, and you pull out your wallet to hand it to him or something like that or whatever. You know a gun when you see it. Stop. Oh, I didn't
Yeah, I
know it was
know.
his
What
wallet.
kind of gun was the phone? What make and model would that be?
But if somebody pulls, but you should pull nothing if a cop tells you to stop. But the thing is, you got cops just fucking shooting haphazardly.
Well, because they get the right. They know everybody's been getting off. You can shoot somebody in the back and everything and still get off. And they're never at fault.
Nope. Nope. And to go to the other side of the coin, once again, somebody pulls a gun. I don't care if it's pointed at me or not. I'm shooting them. I'm shooting them. I mean, if they mean harm, not like they pull it out of their holster and go, "Hey, did you check out my Glock?"
Right.
You know, not that. But I mean, somebody that's belligerent pulls a gun. Either they're going to shoot you or somebody else. I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to shoot them. Why should some innocent slob pay the price when I could have stomped that person?
Right.
I'm as guilty as him. Well, not as. But if I had the power to stop that person and I didn't, I'm fucking guilty.
Yeah, and that's exactly what will happen too. If you're in a situation where you can save somebody's life by pulling your gun, and you don't, they'll arrest you for it.
Well, see, once again, they should not be able to do that either. That's my choice. All right, I would do it, but I also have the right to walk away. I'm not legally bound to save somebody else's life. I would do it if I could, but I'm not legally bound to do that.
Well, you see, in Ohio, the cops aren't legally bound to do that.
What?
Yeah, in Ohio, the cops are not legally bound to save your life. They can sit and watch you get murdered. Not that they
No, they
will.
can't.
Yeah, they are not required to step in and save your life. They're
Well,
only
your
required
state
to.
sucks.
They're only required to defuse the situation and arrest the criminal.
I don't get that. Then why the fuck are they there? If they, who cares?
They're
if
there
they
to
get
serve and
so in other
protect.
words,
Well,
so in other words,
they-
after he shoots you, then the cop can arrest him. But he's not legally obligated to stop the guy from shooting you.
No,
Wow, you people
theoretically,
need.
no. But
Your state needs some fucking help, brother.
but you're never going to see that happen.
Right, I understand that, but the language should not exist.
Exactly. No, it shouldn't exist. But the way it's worded in Ohio, a cop, he probably wouldn't actually get away with it. But legally speaking, he does not have to save your life.
Wow. Jesus. I hope you guys don't have cruises that say
As a matter
to
of fact,
protect
a
and
lot of
serve.
times around here, if somebody's stalking you or making threats, well, we can't do nothing until they
Until they do
crime.
something. Yeah. Isn't stalking a crime? It would fall under harassment.
In Ohio,
You're being
I
harassed.
don't know if it's considered a crime in Ohio or not.
I bet you in New Hampshire it is. I'll bet your ass it is. We don't fuck. You know what? We don't fuck around up here in New Hampshire. That's the one thing I like about New Hampshire. Somebody steps in your house, they say, "Can I come in?" And you go no, and they step in. You can shoot them.
Oh, damn. You guys will end up shooting each other.
No. Check out the fucking the statistics up here. You hear of very few shootings in New Hampshire. Do you know when the most shootings happen in New Hampshire? The first day of hunting season. That's when you hear about the most shootings in New Hampshire.
Right. They're usually accidental.
Right, yeah, well, it's buck fever. Yeah, everyone's out there fucking... They see a blade of grass fucking shaking, they're shooting at it.
Yeah, they see nothing.
Yeah, it's the neighbor's dog or whatever.
Right.
We have a great fucking state here. I wish some of these massholes... I was a masshole transplant. But I didn't come here to change the state. I came here because I liked the state the way it was.
Right.
Yeah, I like New Hampshire, I do.
Yeah, except for the no legal weed thing. But we can get it so easy.
Eventually we're going to get it.
And the cops,
because
they don't give a fuck.
I'm just so pissed that I waited in Mass for so many years thinking it would be legalized any year now. This was since 77. Any year now it's going to be legalized. And then when they finally legalize it, I'm living in New Hampshire and they're not allowing it.
Yeah. Well, they did decriminalize it.
Right. Like the cops, they tell the cops not to arrest. You know what I mean? Oh, if they pull you over and they smell pot or anything, they're not gonna, rip your car apart and arrest you just for pot. They will if they find other drugs.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, especially any opiates.
That just gives them probable cause to look. Because if they don't find nothing, they're told not to arrest you for pot.
Yeah. They're pretty lenient up here. Like I was working with a detail cop a couple weeks ago. It's like, we don't give a shit about pot. He goes, well, I mean, if you're trafficking big time, yeah, but we're not looking for the user. As a matter of fact, at the hospital today, the nurse, she's like, do you smoke, blah, blah, blah. She goes, recreational drugs? I go, yeah, I smoke pot. She goes, how much? I go, at least a joint a day. She's like, okay. What the fuck? They don't care. Nobody cares. Weed is accepted.
No. Really, nobody does care.
Nobody gives a fuck.
The law, that it's because they're not getting their money from it.
Exactly. It's the
same
reason.
They're arrest you and get money from you anyway.
That's why I thought they were going to legalize it a long time ago for the money.
For the tax revenue.
For the tax revenue.
Yeah.
But they never did. Now all of a sudden, Colorado was the first one that they had the balls to do something.
Well, do you know what it was? Is because back then they do focus groups and stuff. Well, polls. Well, they just didn't feel that they had the people backing them.
Well, back in the 70s, I was a Democrat.
Right, no, but
that's why I thought we were going to legalize it. It would have been Democrats that did it.
Back in the 80s.
You're talking old school Democrats, though. Back then, mostly.
Yeah, they were old school. None of these people were socialist or progressive.
Right. Well, they were Kennedy Democrats.
Right. Well, Blue Dog. A lot of them were Blue Dog in the 70s.
Right. Well, John Kennedy would be considered a Republican.
A Blue Dog.
No, he'd be considered a Republican and a hardliner today. I'll tell you that. He was no Ted Kennedy. And you got to remember, back in the 80s, if you ran a poll on how many Republicans were for marijuana, and you would have gotten about maybe 20-25%. Now today, if you poll the average Republican, you're going to get 55-60%.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
Because even the ones that don't use it don't care because there's bigger fish to fry. We got bigger concerns.
Yeah, let's concentrate on fentanyl and not pot.
And it's not even just in the drug world, just the
Well,
world
no,
in general.
let's get the cops, and I've always hated this throughout the history, is when they find a new drug or whatever, especially with they hire more cops. It's the union that want job security.
Right. Yeah.
And it is just their excuse. So that's why they want everything to be illegal so they can have more cops.
Right, so higher budgets.
Right.
Why do you think the DEA exists? There's no reason to have a DEA.
Not anymore.
You have an FBI.
No, we got Border Patrol. That's
Border
what's
Patrol,
coming.
FBI.
What's DNA? I mean,
Inspector.
DEA doing to stop it from coming across the border. You don't hear anything about them.
No. Well, they work overseas, but then again, you could have fucking... well, the FBI's not allowed to work overseas.
Right.
Yeah, so actually, I guess you kind of do need a DEA. But they shouldn't be
No,
working
that's
domestically.
CIA. They're allowed to work.
Yeah, but the
overseas.
CIA works on...
different branch. Put them into one.
yeah, you could do that. Or you could have the DEA only working overseas. Here in the United States, they don't exist. You have the FBI. Here's another one. The ATF.
Look good
Why
at
do
that.
we do alcohol, tobacco, and firearms?
Now they're talking explosives.
What the fuck do you need an agency for that for?
You don't. What do we got? An FBI and a CIA for?
Yeah. Yeah. Next, it's going to be fucking lollipops, fucking brownies, and fucking
They're the
and
heroes.
lasagna.
They're the heroes that fucking killed Ruby Ridge and Waco.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really love the FBI on that one.
Yeah, well, that was under fucking Reno. That fucking
Right.
cunt.
And Louis Freer.
And I said it. But I told that one you cool, right? Because it was about Janet Reno. That Frankenstein-looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Do you know why she wore a pearl necklace all the time? Tied the fucking bolts in her neck. That fucking thing. Jesus Christ. She looked like the Walking Dead 10 years before she was dead. And do you know what? I'm glad she is dead.
The worst attorney general in the history.
Oh, she was the worst.
I
Jesus
don't
Christ.
know.
Now, although Eric Holder keeps a close second.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Eric Holder runs a close second.
Yeah, and what's her face afterwards?
Oh,
Um,
Lynch.
Lynch. Yeah. She was a real beauty. Hey, talk about...
Both under Obama, idiots.
Holy shit, talk about cankles.
Yeah.
They literally looked like fucking hoofs. I was like, holy shit, she's cloven. I was waiting to see a big fucking ring in her nose so you could click like a dog collar on it.
All right, let's get off of her. Let's go on back on to Trump. We never get to talk about
Oh, we
him.
didn't even talk about Trump
Right.
and the immigration
Policy where the Democrats and the media, especially the media,
It
all
kills
of a
me.
sudden we're ripping children away from families.
That
Every
kills me
courthouse in the USA is ripping children from families.
Yes, there's millions
Nobody
of
seems
people
to
a
give
year.
a fuck when it's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah,
They only care when it's an illegal.
They-
If I drive a car with... I'm sorry, Jeremy. I just want to get this out real quick.
No.
I was waiting for a fucking sound effect.
Shut up!
If I drive a car without a license, right, I get ripped away from my family. I go to jail for driving without a license. Nobody gives a fuck.
Driving without a license for an illegal, they won't even get arrested because they
No, but
know
I'm just
it's a
saying,
felony.
but nobody
so they
cares
won't.
that I'm being ripped away from my family.
No, exactly, because you're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Everybody is shit on the U.S. citizen.
Well, see what they're doing
That's what
now.
Democrats do. They took our jobs away.
They're setting a dangerous precedent here, even by, allowing illegal immigrants to keep their kids with them during detention or whatever. Now, people in the U.S. prison system are going to want that. Like,
Exactly.
hey, yes.
And they should. If they're going to be that,
We're-
you know
we're
what I mean? Don't
separated
rip
from our
families
kids, why can't
apart.
we have our
Then they
kids
should
here?
be able to come in and
And now,
live with them.
which this is probably one of the reasons why the Democrats want this, is the next time a parent commits a crime, their fucking kid gets sent to prison too.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
And now
then
they're
we
all
could-
conveniently in one little location, easy to control.
Exactly. Now you're really on the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
talk about slavery reborn in the name of those who actually created slavery, Democrats.
Agenda 21, buddy. Agenda
Yep.
21.
Yep.
They'll have everybody in easy-to-manage locations. That's what the people don't understand. Allowing illegal immigrants into the country and allowing their fucking kids to stay with them sets that precedent.
It's
And
got
that's
to end.
all they'll need.
And I'm so sick of they get a hearing. Why do they get a hearing? No hearing, you get sent back. You're not here legally. No hearing. Goodbye.
Well,
They got no
that's why the
rights.
Democrats are bitching, because despite Trump signing that executive order saying that kids could stay with their families during deportation or detention process or whatever, they're still getting deported.
Right, and what they want is an open fucking border. They can't make it any plainer.
Yeah, and that's
Trump-
very, very dangerous.
Trump meets them halfway, right? And they're still not satisfied. It's all the way or no way with these people. They're children. They have the mindset of children. You give them an inch and they take a fucking mile. You have to say no and mean it.
Yeah. And that's the problem. He's following the law, and I guarantee you, if Trump did not follow the law and let this stuff happen, let those kids stay with their parents at the border and everything else, the Democrats would be going, "Oh my God, impeach him! He's breaking the law."
Exactly. They know the law, that he's following the law. It's a law the Democrats wrote.
Yep.
And they did it on purpose so they can use the children like they do
Yeah,
with everything.
and every fucking president since Clinton has enforced that fucking law, and all of them have deported more people than Trump has.
Right. The only reason the numbers have slowed is because they're
being
not
the
coming.
biggest defender.
But you got La Raza and these Mexican groups or Spanish groups, Guatemalans. They're having lawyers tell them they got groups coming up the caravan. That was all set up by American lawyers.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
And La Raza and whoever they're representing. You know what I mean?
Yep. Do you know why? Because these lawyers, they don't care if the country
No,
gets flooded.
They don't give two shits
They're
as
not
long as
taking
they
their
got their money.
jobs. Yeah. And they're no threat to their kids because their kids are going to be lawyers and stuff, right? Nobody's taking their jobs. And they live in a nice gated community.
Yeah.
And none of the riffraffs getting in.
The worst people in the country, politicians and lawyers.
Do you know what a
They're
lawyer is?
basically one and the same.
A lawyer is a scumbag. A politician is a fucking scumbag on the next level. They have reached the pinnacle of scumbagliness.
Uh-oh. That deserves a sound effect there. Holy cow, that's
Yes.
a new word.
Scumbagliness.
That's a trick.
I'm going to see if I can get that one in the Webster's Dictionary. I'm going to petition for it.
No, they'll ban it, but they won't give it to you.
Well, at least I get a mention.
Yeah, before the word come out, we banned it because it was from Paul Daniels.
Yeah, because they hate me.
Yeah.
Because I murder the English language on a daily
He's
basis.
been thrown off Facebook before.
I'm actually never going back. Never going back. Do you know what I figured out about Facebook?
It sucks.
I was arguing with people that I haven't seen in 30 fucking years. I'm like, why am I arguing with somebody I haven't seen face to face in 30 fucking years? I don't want to be that guy anymore. The fucking just angry type at 2 o'clock in the morning. Fuck off. Want my life back. What little of it's
Right.
still left.
Well, you know, I've been sitting here slowly for the last several months now working on my own social media site that would eliminate some of this bullshit censorship and all that stuff that you see on Facebook, but it's not something that's meant to be in any way big like Facebook.
But you mean just a group for you and your friends and stuff?
Predominantly, yes.
Yeah. And if somebody wants to chime in with another, hey, that's fine. Say whatever you want. That's what I want. I want a forum where people can say, like, somebody fucked with you, and you're like, I hope they have a fucking house fire and everyone dies.
Hey, let's all give a shout out to Donald Wisman and tell him he has a life.
Donald, you have a life.
You have a wife.
Donald.
I actually choked on them words, but you do, Donald.
God.
I can see Donald now in his bedroom with all his Trump signs and everything.
Oh my
He's
God!
just
Have
sitting
you
there.
seen it? Hey,
No,
what are you doing in his bedroom?
Yeah, stuff you don't even want to know.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he told you guys that or not, but they took his original Facebook account. It's been disabled or deleted one.
I don't understand. Donald's like a really non-offensive person.
Well,
You never hear him say like anything like,
it doesn't fit their agenda. It's that whole Facebook censorship thing that Mark Zuckerberg got away with when he testified in front of Congress.
he really is a douche in the highest order, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
He's also the great grandson of George Soros or some shit like that.
Is he really?
Yes,
I did
he's
not
a
know that.
Soros.
We only got a couple of minutes
Wow.
here, folks.
We got 5, Jimmy.
No, well, I'm doing the Donald Trump. His is 327.
Oh, you're gonna play the clip.
I'm gonna play the clip and we're gonna go out right after it.
All right.
How long's
So
the
at
clip?
8:56:10. That's when I.
So we got like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's 8:55 now, so we got about less than a minute.
Oh shit!
All right.
Want to give a
God.
shout out to the troops, folks. You can hear us on Spreaker and on playback. You can go to Pot Talk, P.O.T_, and that'll bring you to Pot Talk with Jimmy Bell and Paul Daniels. You
And
can find our
Jeremy
shows.
Gibbs.
And Jeremy.
Yeah, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it.
Do you know what? Honestly, I don't even know if we have your name on it. I haven't been there in fucking ages.
Actually, I don't know if you do or not. I haven't been there either, so. We care so much about our fellow hosts.
Well, it's there every time I
I
bring up the show. It's Jimmy, Paul, and Jeremy.
Oh,
so,
okay. So he is on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there anything else? Anyone? Do you know what?
We gotta go.
See you next week, people. Peace out.
Take
Peace
care.
out.
We need 2 to tango. We have 51 votes in the Senate. We need 60, unfortunately, because we have the ridiculous filibuster rule. So we need 60. And I think I'll get 4 or 5 or 6 from senators, frankly, running in states where I won by 25, 30, 40 points with Mike. And I think we'll get 6 senators, maybe we'll get 7 senators. That still doesn't get us to 60. So there's nothing you can do to get there. And people don't understand that. When we have a majority in the Senate, we have a majority by 1, but we need 10 votes. So we need 10, essentially, we need 10 Democrats. Not going to get them. They're told by Schumer and Pelosi, don't do it. Because we want to see if we can pick up seats. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the injury. They don't care about the problems. They don't care about anything. All they do is say, obstruct, and let's see how we do. Because they have no policies that are any good. They're not good politicians. They got nothing going. All they're good at is obstructing. And they generally stick together. I respect them for that. That's about it. Their policies stink. They're no good. They have no ideas. They have no nothing. The Democrats. All they can do is obstruct and stay together and vote against and make it impossible to take care of children and families and to take care of immigration. We should be able to make an immigration bill that can really solve the problem. Not just this. This is one aspect of it. This is one very important but small aspect of it. We should be able to do a bill. I'd invite them to come over to the White House anytime they want. This afternoon would be good. After the cabinet meeting would be good. They are invited officially. I'll let you do the inviting. let the press do the inviting. But we have to do something about immigration in this country. For 50 years and long before that, it was a disaster. But over the last 20, 25 years, it's gotten worse. Every time they write a rule or regulation, it makes it worse, not better. We can solve this problem. We have to hire thousands of judges. No country in the world is hiring judges like that. They hire border people that you can't come into the country. Mexico, by the way, is doing nothing for us. Nothing. They have the strongest immigration laws. They can do whatever they want. They can keep people out of Mexico. They have a 2,000-mile journey up Mexico. They walk through Mexico like it's walking through Central Park. It's ridiculous. Mexico does nothing for us. So then when people say, why are you being so tough with NAFTA? And I am being tough because it's a terrible deal for the United States. Mexico's making $100 billion a year off us and the horrible NAFTA deal. And I am being tough. One of the reasons I'm being tough, because they do nothing for us at the border. They encourage people, frankly, to walk through Mexico and go into the United States because they're drug traffickers, they're human traffickers, they're coyotes. I mean, we're getting some real beauties. Mexico is doing nothing for us except taking our money and sending us drugs. They're doing nothing. They could solve this problem in 2 minutes. You wouldn't even have to do anything. But they don't do it. They talk a good game, but they don't do it.
I was young, I was foolish, I was angry, I was fun, I was charming, I was lucky.